Good morning, students. Let us start our class with the lesson Puss in Boots Part 2. In our previous video, we have learned that Puss, the cat, promised his master of his good fortune. And for the good fortune, he made many tricks. At last, he came to know about the king's daily routine. And after that, he made one more trick. Let us learn what was his trick. One day, when Puss knew for certain that the king was to take a walk along the riverside with his daughter, the most beautiful princess in the world, he said to his master, "Now just follow my advice and your fortune will be made. Come quickly and get into the river where I show you. Leave the rest to me." Then the puss came to know that the king was going to take a walk along the riverside with his beautiful princess, the most beautiful princess in the world. Okay, then he told to his master, "Now just follow my advice." What he told? He told the master, poor master, had to listen him, follow him. Okay, whatever advice he was going to give him, he must follow it. Okay, and what he told? He told, for the good fortune, you must obey my advice. Okay, follow my advice and come quickly, get into the river. And after that, what he said? Come fast. You jump into the water where I show you. Means where the cat was going to show him, he had to jump there into the river. Okay, and after that he told, whatever is going to happen, no problem, leave the rest to me. Okay, rest to the cat. The youngest brother did as Puss advised him. A little later, the king passed by the river, and Puss began to cry out, "Help, help, my lord Marquis of Carabas is going to be drowned." Then what happened? When he saw the king, he told his master to jump into the water. And the master jumped into the... Then what happened? Puss began to cry out. How did he cry? He cried, "Help, help, my lord Marquis of Carabas is going to be drowned. Anyone please come and help him." Okay. Hearing the noise, the king looked out of the coach window. He was surprised to see the puss who had so often brought him such good game. He commanded his guards to immediately assist the Marquis of Carabas. As they were drawing him out of the river, Puss told the king that while his master was washing, there came by some rogues who had stole his clothes, though he had cried out, "Thieves, thieves," several times. By hearing the screaming of Puss, king looked out of his coach window. Then he was surprised to see the cat there, because the cat was regularly did his visit to the palace. Okay, so he was very famous. So king told his man to go and help him. Soon the guards went and saved his master. Then Puss again told a lie that his master was washing. That time some rogues came there and stolen his clothes. Means royal clothes. Okay. In front of the king, the Marquis of Carabas was a prince. Okay. Puss told the king that his master, Marquis of Carabas, was the prince. Okay. So he told like this. Rogues means here dishonest persons means thieves. The king immediately commanded the officers of his wardrobe to run and fetch one of his best suits for the Marquis of Carabas. The Marquis was soon attired in royal clothes. The princess, stealing glances at the handsome young man, decided that she liked him very much. By hearing this, the king ordered his officers to run and bring one of his best suits for the Marquis of Carabas. Then soon officers went and brought one good suit for the master. Okay, and soon he attired in royal clothes. That means he wore it. Okay, and he was looking like a prince. Okay, then what happened? The princess was also inside the coach, and she was looking at the handsome man secretly. Stealing glances she was giving. Okay, that means secretly she was looking at the young man, and she liked him very much. Puss, quite overjoyed to see his plan beginning to succeed, marched ahead purposefully. He stopped by some countrymen who were mowing a meadow and said to them, "Good people who are mowing, tell the king that his meadow belongs to my lord Marquis of Carabas, or you will suffer dire consequences." Puss was very happy now, okay, because his plan was going to succeed. So he marched ahead, means he went ahead and in front, and he stopped by some countrymen. Some countrymen were mowing a meadow, okay, and he told them, good people who are mowing, please tell this meadow is belonging to my lord Marquis of Carabas. Okay, actually the meadow was not his. Okay, actually the meadow was not belonging to Marquis of Carabas, and he told the countrymen to say like this, otherwise you have to suffer dire consequences, means the result would be very bad if they were not saying like this. Okay, so what did he say? He said to say to the king, inform to the king that the meadow was belonging to his master, Lord Marquis of Carabas. Okay, to whom? To some countrymen. The king, traveling this way for the first time, asked them who the beautiful meadow belonged to. To my lord Marquis of Carabas. They answered all together, for Puss's threat and made them terribly afraid. Okay, then what happened? After some time, the king came there. He was coming for the first time, so he didn't know whose meadow was that. So he asked the countryman, whose meadow was this? Means meadow belonged to. Then what they replied? They replied that this meadow belonged to a Lord Marquis of Carabas. They told all together. Why? Because Puss already made them to say like that. Okay. Then the king also believed that. You see, sir, said the Marquis, this is a meadow which never fails to yield plentiful harvest every year. Then what happened? Marquis also told, Marquis means here the master. Puss master told that this meadow never fails to yield a plentiful harvest every year. That means from that meadow they used to get a rich harvest. Okay. Now Puss, who was way ahead, met with some reapers and said to them, good people, you who are reaping, tell the king that all this corn belongs to the Marquis of Carabas, or you shall suffer greatly for your disobedience. The king, who passed by a little later, wanted to know who the corn belonged to. To my lord Marquis of Carabas, replied the reapers. Puss was going ahead, and after some time he met some reapers, and he said to them that, good people, king is coming here, and tell to the king this cornfield is belong to my Marquis of Carabas. Okay, otherwise you should suffer a lot for the disobedience. Okay, he told them also to say like this. And after some time, king was going there. Then he asked to the reapers who the corn belonged to. Then they told that this cornfield belonged to my Lord Marquis of Carabas. Okay, Then the king was astonished at the vast estates of the Marquis of Carabas. Puss at last came to a stately castle, the master of which was an ogre, to whom all the lands the king had just seen actually belonged. Puss, who had taken care to inform himself about the ogre, asked to speak with him, saying he could not pass so near his castle without honoring the ogre with a visit. The ogre received him as civilly as an ogre could and made him sit down. I have heard rumors, said Puss, that you have the gift of being able to change yourself into all sorts of creatures. You can, for example, transform yourself into a lion or elephant and the like. At last, Puss reached to a castle. In that castle, there was an ogre. Ogre means monster. Okay, this whole land belonged to that ogre. Okay, and Puss wanted to meet the ogre also. So he went there and met him. Okay, and ogre also received him, welcomed him very much, and he told him to sit down. Okay, then what happened? I have heard rumors. What rumors he heard? You have the gift of being able to change yourself into all sorts of creatures. That means the ogre had the ability to change himself into all kinds of creature. Means if he wanted to change his figure into a lion, then he could do it. And to convince you, you shall see me now become a lion. For convincing him, the ogre became soon a lion. Puss was so terrified at the sight of a lion so near him that he instantly jumped into a roof beam. When Puss saw that the ogre had resumed his natural form, he came down and admitted he had been very frightened. I have also been informed, said Puss, that you have the power to change yourself into a rat or a mouse. But I am inclined to think that is impossible. Huh? Cried the ogre. Let me prove it to you. No sooner had he shrunk to a mouse than Puss pounced on him. Then what happened? In front of Puss, he became a lion. Okay, after seeing the lion, the Puss was so terrified, so frightened, and he climbed onto a roof beam. Okay, jumped onto a roof beam, and after that, ogre resumed his natural form. Again, he became as ogre. Then only Puss came down and admitted that he had been very frightened, okay, scared. Then what happened? Then he again told that he had the power to change himself into a rat or a mouse. Can you change yourself into a rat or mouse? Very cunning. Then he told, why not? I can do it. Then what happened? Soon he shrunk to a mouse, then Puss. Okay. Then what did Puss do? He pounced on him. Okay. He caught him. Okay. Because it was a mouse. Mouse means very small, smaller than a cat. Then shortly after this, Puss heard the noise of his Majesty's coach on the drawbridge. He ran out and said to the king, Your Majesty is welcome to this castle of my Lord Marquis of Carabas. What, my Lord Marquis? Cried the king. This is the finest building to complement the magnificent estates that surround it. Let us enter, if you please. Then what happened? Soon he heard the Majesty's coach sound. Okay, so he came out, and after that he told, Your Majesty is welcome to this castle of my Lord Marquis of Carabas. He told that this castle belonged to whom? His master, Marquis of Carabas. How easily he could. Then the king cried, means shouted, What, my Lord Marquis? He told that he was very surprised because of seeing the so vast estates and the huge building. The marquis helped the princess step down from the coach. They followed the king into a spacious hall where all the ogre's servants were on hand to serve the king and their new master. His Majesty was perfectly charmed with the splendor and dignity of the Marquis of Carabas, as was his daughter. Then what happened? Marquis helped the princess to step down from the coach. Okay. After that, they followed the king and they went inside the spacious hall, very big hall. Okay, where so many servants of ogre were standing to serve the king. Okay, and their new master. Then what happened? His Majesty was perfectly charmed with the splendor and dignity of the Marquis of Carabas. King was totally happy with the castle and all the vast estates of Marquis of Carabas. He was ready to give his daughter to Marquis of Carabas. Okay. Lord Carabas, now where shall I find a more worthy son-in-law? Said the king. The Marquis accepted the honor which his Majesty conferred upon him, and Puss became a great lord. He never ran after mice any more except when he was bored. Then what happened? Now the king was also very happy to give his daughter to the Marquis of Carabas, and he told that where shall I find a more worthy son-in-law? He was the richest son-in-law. Okay, and Marquis accepted the honor which his Majesty conferred upon him. Okay, and he also was very happy to receive the princess as his wife. Okay, and Puss became a great lord, and he never ran after mice more except when he was bored. Whenever he was bored, only that time he went to catch the mouse. Okay. At last, the cat Puss, as he promised to his master, he made his master's fortune very good. Excellent. How was the story, students? Hope you have understood the story and you enjoyed the story a lot. Let us end this section here. Thank you.